Presented by Intaswaila binti Muhammad Zaini. Introduction. WiMAX stands for Worldwide Interoperability for Microwave Access. It is based on IEEE 802.16 standard. IEEE 802.16 is the IEEE standard for Wireless Metropolitan Area Network, Wireless MIN. It specifies the air interface for fixed, portable, and mobile broadband wireless access systems supporting multimedia services. WiMAX aims to provide wireless broadband services with target range of up to 31 miles, transmission rate exceeding 100 Mbps. It is also provide wireless alternative to cable, DSL, and T1 or E1 for last mile access. The term IE 802.16 and WiMAX are used interchangeably. Working. There are two parts of WiMAX. The first part is WiMAX tower, and the second part is WiMAX receiver. WiMAX tower is a high-powered base station with large range and connection to internet, while WiMAX receiver is a one or more end-user roaming nodes or another WiMAX tower. WiMAX stations connect directly to the internet with a wired connection. So this is an example of WiMAX tower, and this is an example of WiMAX receiver. So how does it work? WiMAX uses microwave radio technology to connect computers to the internet in the place of wired connections such as DSL or cable modem. It works very much like cell phone technology in that reasonable proximity to a base station is required to establish a data link to the internet. Users within 3 to 5 miles of the base station will be able to establish link using NLOS technology with data rates as high as 75 Mbps. Users up to 30 miles away from the base station with an antenna mounted for LOS to the base station will be able to connect at data rates approaching 200 and 218 Mbps. So we have there are three types of WiMAX. So the first type is 802.16. Second type is 802.16A or slash REVD, and third type is 802.16E. The completed time is for 802.16 is December 2001. For 802.16A is January 2003. For REVD, June 2004. And for 802.16E is in middle of 2005. So the spectrum for 802.16 is 10 to 66 gigahertz. For 802.16A REVD, 2 to 11 gigahertz, and for 802.16E 2 to 6 gigahertz. For application for 802.16 is a backhaul. So for 802.16 REVD, wireless DSL and backhaul, and for 802.16 802.16E is a mobile internet application. For the bit rate for WiMAX type 802.16 is 32 to 134 Mbps at 28 MHz channelization, and for 802.16A up to 75 Mbps at 20 MHz channelization, and for 802.16E up to 50 Mbps at 5 MHz channelization. For channel conditions, for 802.16 is for line of sight only. For 802.16a/REVD, non-line of sight, and for 802.16e, non-line of sight. So for modulation, for 802.16 is QPSK 16 QAM and 64 QAM. For 802.16a, modulation is QFDM 256 subcarriers, QPSK 16 QAM and 64 QAM. So and modulation for type 802.16e, scalable of OFDMA. Mobility for 802.16 is fixed. For 802.16a is fixed mobility, and for mobility for 802.16e is pedestrian mobility or regional roaming. Channel bandwidth for type 802.6 for channel bandwidth for type 802.16 is 20, 25, and 28 MHz. Channel bandwidth for type 802.16a/REVD is a selectable channel between 1.5 and 20 MHz, and channel bandwidth for type 802.16e is same as 801.16a with UL sub-channels to conserve power. So the typical cell radius for 802.16 is 1 to 3 miles. Typical cell radius for 802.16a/REVD is 4 to 6 miles. Max range 30 miles based on tower height, antenna gain, and power transmit. And typical cell radius for 802.16e is 1 to 3 miles. There are some advantages and disadvantages of WiMAX. The advantages of WiMAX is bandwidth flexibility, pricing and contract flexibility, quick installation and interpenetration. The disadvantages of the WiMAX is WiMAX can operate at higher bit rates or over longer distance but not void. Omnidirectional antennas are used. Relationship with other wireless technology. There are other wireless technology, 3G, mobile PHY, Wi-Fi, and WiMAX. So the max speed for 3G is 2 Mbps. For mobile PHY, max speed is 16 Mbps. Max speed for Wi-Fi is 54 Mbps, and max speed for WiMAX is 100 Mbps. Coverage for 3G is several miles. Coverage for Wi-Fi, mobile PHY is several miles. Coverage for Wi-Fi is 300 feet, and coverage for WiMAX is 50 miles. AWAVE for 3G is licensed, mobile PHY licensed, Wi-Fi unlicensed, and WiMAX either. Advantages of 3G is a range and the mobility. The advantages of mobile PHY is speed and mobility. Advantages of Wi-Fi is speed and the race and the price. And advantages of WiMAX is speed and range. Disadvantages is for 3G is slow and expensive. Disadvantages for mobile PHY is high price. For Wi-Fi is short range, and for WiMAX is interference issue. The comparison Comparison between WiMAX and Wi-Fi. WiMAX is a long-range system. WiMAX provides services analogous to cell phone. It uses a mechanism based on setting up connections between the base station and user device. Wi-Fi is a short-range system, have more analogs to a cordless phone. Wi-Fi has introduced a quality of service mechanism similar to fixed Ethernet, which where packet can receive different priorities based on their text. Conclusion. Within 5 years, we expect WiMAX to be dominant technology for wireless networking. By that time, it will be fully mobile as well as providing low-cost fixed broadband access that will open up regions where internet access has so far not been practical. Thank you.